going, peeps? How are you? So today's tutorial is what you can see me having quite a bit of fun in here today. Going to be Krall, who is the villain from the new Star Trek movie, Star Trek Beyond. So let's get to the tutorial. I'm starting off with a clean face, and I'm going to be putting in some red contacts because from this reference image here, he seems to have red eyes, at least in his first iteration. So I only had 3 hours to do this makeup today, as I had to go out in it to steal someone's job as an alien. Insert clip here of me stealing someone's job as an alien. Today I'm just going to be using a cling wrap bald cap. I first saw this method done by Makeup Cheetah on Instagram. She did it with a colourful alien, and I am making sure that I'm covering my bun and my ears because Krall's ears are quite flat on his face. So I'm covering this cling wrap bald cap in liquid latex, and this helps the paint and the other bits that I'm going to be putting on this makeup to adhere to the cling wrap bald cap. If you do get any in your hair, like I did just a couple seconds ago, just wipe it out while it's still wet and it should be all sweet. So I'm covering everywhere I can with the latex. And then I'm going to be building up the face shape of Krall using masking tape, and masking tape is a quick way to build up prosthetics fast. Is masking tape safe for your face? I would say so. I personally found it much easier to remove than the liquid latex. And here I am building up the shape of Krall's nose. He seems to have some wide, angry, flaring nostrils. So that's what I'm doing here. And you might not be able to tell, but I've also got my eyebrows covered in glue and powder. Listen to this song for a second. Anyway, so I am covering my nose in a little bit of masking tape and cotton and latex, and as you can probably tell right now, I'm struggling a little bit with this. I ended up struggling so much that I did end up just pulling it off right here and grabbing that soaked cotton and latex and building up the hooked nose with that instead of the masking tape. And here you can see that I'm trying to build up some of the shapes of Krall's spines using just cotton and latex, and I found out very quickly that that would not get the height that I was after. So I decided to instead, for the big spines on the forehead, lay down some cotton and cover it in some masking tape, and for the smaller, thinner spines, I just grabbed some masking tape, folded in the very middle part, and left the outer edges sticky, and laid that down to make the spines. So whenever I was making those spines and the edges did not stick, I just grabbed some more masking tape to adhere it down onto my face. Here you can see me folding in just the middle edge and leaving the outer edges to stick to my face. And I just added a little bit more masking tape on either end of this piece in particular because it was not adhering very well. And I also made it a little bit too short, so I grabbed some more masking tape and further extended that spine up to my ear. Now I'm going to be adding some cotton to these spines because they were very thin and I wanted a little bit more body to them. So I added cotton and then I covered the cotton and the masking tape in liquid latex, and I am doing this everywhere to all of the spines. And when I am doing it to the spines around my eyes, I found that this overhang was so close to my eye that I ended up getting a little bit of latex in my eyelashes. So I ended up having to put my finger over my eyelid just to keep my eyelid closed and my eyelashes away from the latex. Now I am going to be filling in my eye sockets with black, and I'm also going to be filling in the nostrils with black. And here you can see that I am filling in the area between all the spines with a dark green blue paint. This may seem counterintuitive, as in the next step I am seen to be covering it all over with a layer of light grey face paint. And it's not, because as the light grey face paint dries, you can see that darkness coming through where it's dried. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a dance break. And now that I've stopped, you can see that around my mouth, that dark base is showing through the light grey paint. As I go up to my eyes, I also blend out this light grey face paint into the black around my eyes. And I'm going to be making sure to cover everywhere that I can see with this light grey face paint. So my entire head, as much of the bald cap as I could see, and my neck and chest. Now I'm going to be filling in my waterline. And I would say that you could see me doing this, but you can't really. But at least you can see the end result of this in my little dance here. So right here is a little bit tricky to explain. Basically, I looked at the Krall makeup as a reference image and tried to recreate what I saw with dark grey face paint. So I'm filling in all the deeper areas that I can see with dark grey. And if you want to do this, my advice to you is to also look up a picture of Krall and try to recreate whatever you see on his makeup with face paints. Either that, or you can build your own prosthetic and put in as much detail as you want. So I'm just shading in all the deeper areas. I'm also going to be filling in my lips with black because his lips are dark in the movie as well. And anything that I do to my face, I'm going to be doing to my bald cap and my neck and chest. So these are just the deep areas that I could see, and I'm going to go in with a light grey face paint to highlight all the areas too. This is just me trying to recreate the texture that I see in the makeup, but I also do go in with a pure white because Krall's makeup, or at least Krall, kind of has this phosphorescent feel, as in he kind of seems to be glowing. So some of his areas, like along his jaw, around his ear, along his eye socket, below his lip, seem to be glowing. So I'm just going in and dotting some white to try and get that phosphorescent kind of feel. And now we're done. So here I am back from stealing someone's job as an alien. My wrists are painted because I was wearing gloves. But we've got to get Krall's armor on, so let's get rid of that office wear. Krall's armor actually goes a lot higher than my office clerk's shirt did, so I'm going to be going over some of the work that we just did with brown, and then I'm going to be trying to outline some of the shapes of Krall's armor that I saw with a dark brown body paint. And it's quite hard to explain what I'm doing, but basically any shape that I see I'm trying to recreate. So I suggest you do the same. Just Google an image of Krall, look at his armor, and try to paint what you see. And I'm going to be shading some of the areas that are overhanging other areas with some brown shadow, and right next to anything that I have just shaded, I'm going to highlight. The highlight right next to the shadow helps to bring forward the parts that are above the other parts. So wherever you see is forward, highlight, wherever is backwards, shade. And if you do have the time, I would also suggest you trying to blend out these shadows and highlights a lot more than I did. But I had these contacts in for 3 or 4 hours, and as much as this was quite fun to be in, and I seem to be having quite a lot of fun, I just wanted to take it off. So here we are, we're all done, You can see that I am having quite a lot of fun, but I really wanted to take it off. As you can see now.
Should I take it off? Or do you want to see it before I take it off? I want to take it off. What? Do you want to see it properly before I take it off? Okay. Are we recording? Are we recording? Yeah, it's already coming off, see? You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me it was coming off there. I've been talking this whole time. And it's been coming off, and you didn't tell me. I can't trust you anymore. We are no longer friends. Hey, how's it going?